Hello everyone, in today's video I will be showing a brief summary on how I created the Millennium Puzzle from the popular anime series Yu-Gi-Oh! I will be covering topics like mesh modeling, sculpting, compositing, and more. Before we begin, please feel free to download this item for free on my Gumroad page. Link is in the description. First step, puzzle modeling. Before modeling, it's critical to set up reference images in your scene to ensure proper proportions. In this segment, you can see I'm editing a plane based off the reference image. I'm using the knife tool to slice the mesh accurately. To create the eyes, I added multiple curves and molded each one to reflect the reference image. Starting off simple is key. Once I'm satisfied with the arrangement of the curves, I convert all of them into a mesh. I then go into sculpt mode and tweak the eyes a bit with the grab brush. Then I select all the endpoint faces and press Ctrl B to round out edges. I then tilted the first plane by 32 degrees and extruded a vertex from point A to B and then B to C as displayed here. In this short time-lapse session, you can see me following the side and back portion of the reference image. I'm using the knife tool to cut and edit the model while cleaning the topology as I go. How to model chain link and puzzle hookup next. The hook was made by adding a simple curve and tweaking it accordingly. The chain links were made from a torus with 10 major segments. I deleted a half portion, then added a mirror modifier. I adjusted the sides and inner rim to resemble a proper chain link. I then duplicated it and reused it for the other links. Here I am making the corners of the puzzle. I selected the corner edges and duplicated them into a separate mesh, then extruded them into planes. I used the knife tool to get the correct cutouts. Shirt modeling. I made the shirt off a simple plane, separated them into 3 objects. I added some loops to tighten the edges, then placed a multi-res modifier. I jumped into sculpt mode and molded the plane to reflect the likeness of a shirt. Shirt texturing. The fabric I used for the shirt was downloaded from texturelabs.org. I UV unwrapped the mesh and used the fabric image as the texture. I plugged the image texture into a color ramp and used it as a bump and color. Pretty simple and straightforward setup. Puzzle shading. For the chain link materials, I used a scratch image texture and plugged it into a color ramp and then into a bump node. For the roughness, I only added a noise texture. I also added a glossy BSDF and mixed it with the principal node. I first placed an ambient occlusion node followed by a color ramp and plugged into the mix node that features 2 tones of yellow. For the roughness, I added only a noise texture. I adjusted the IOR to 0.50 as well. Compositing. The compositing setup is basic, but packs a punch. The first node I added was a lens distortion node, followed by a diamond sharpen. Then I used a color balance node to adjust the grading. Lastly, I placed a glare node in the end to produce a shiny effect. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.